Hello. Hi, friends. This will drive me absolutely crazy. So I'm going to move that pillow because it annoys me. You know, when you're just like looking at your background and you're like, what is that? Oh, this will annoy me for the next hour. Hello, friends. How are you? How's everybody doing on this beautiful Monday? Happy new moon, you guys. If you have no idea who I am, while I'm lighting up this Palo Santo here and actually getting, oh, we have a lot to cover. Um, while we get everything reset. If you have no idea who I am, my name is Meshi, and I'm an intuitive healer, a meditation teacher, and a guide. And I'm here every single week with you. Let's reset you guys too. And I am here every single week with you guys, chatting about what's happening, a little bit of astrology, a little bit of energy work. And we talk about sort of what you can expect for the coming week. We kind of talk about what's happening energetically and then how you can use that information in a really tangible way so that you can move forward with your week with intention and with clarity. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to get, oh my goodness, this is smoking way too much. What we're doing today is simple. We're going to go through all of the sign and we'll kind of give you a little bit of an update of what you need to know for the new moon that's happening. It's happening as of today in Taurus. I'm keep mixing it up between Taurus and Gemini. Please tell me it's in Gemini. I'm keep wanting to say it's in Taurus, but it's not. It's in Gemini. So don't come at me in the comments. And so we're gonna go through all of the signs. Hopefully, we can do this in one live stream. Again, if I have to kind of break it up for whatever reason, then you can just kind of take a look at the. I'm updating the chat as we go, and let's get started. So first up, Aries, it's your turn. So we have 2:15. And if you hear me say like 2:15 or like 2:20, that's just me actually creating a timestamp. Okay, let's begin. Aries, what do you need to know for this week? Keep in mind today is the new moon. We're also ending eclipse season, which is wonderful. So you might be already starting to feel a little bit lighter. Aries, what do you need to know? And if you're hearing whistling, that's because my dog is asking for so much food. The struggle continues. Aries, what do you need to know for the week? What do you need to know for this week? And if you're joining me live, please let me know that you can hear me and see me okay. And how, just with like an emoji, just share how your weekend was. Aries, what do you need to know? Okay. So first we have rewriting the subconscious. Then we have the sacred flow of yes. Oh, I really love this for you guys. And then we have the 10 of Wands. So here's what I kind of feel like where we're going with this. So rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. I feel like right now with this new moon energy, you're going to be really using it to go within. And I always tell you to go within, but right now it's going to be specific more towards it's going to be specific more towards something that you are really asking everybody around you of how you can sort of manifest things. So I also kind of feel like some of you are asking um, it's sort of like you're asking, like, is this going to work out? Is this not going to work out? What do you think? Is this for me? So, like, I just feel like you're asking for a lot of external validation for something, whether you should move forward with it or not. And just keep in mind that right now we're moving into that energy where an old cycle has finished and you're entering into this new cycle. So, as you're entering in, your answer is yes, but maybe what you might need is, to me, with the 10 of Wands, we're really moving into that energy of literally moving old stuff out. So perhaps use this new moon energy to really go within and see what are the areas that really need moving out. What are the areas that really are ready to not be left behind. I feel more like it's like a cleansing situation more than anything else. I also kind of feel like there's a lot of inner work that most of you are going to be doing. There's a lot of like inner restructuring, rewiring, where you're really looking at ways that you're kind of seeing it's almost like you're starting to realize that what was up to this point got you here, and then from here you might feel like all this motivation and like this spark of like you just want to kind of make everything happen. But the big thing is you need to kind of take a look at what are those heavy things that are really weighing you down. Are they people? Are they circumstances, mindsets, your approach? Like, what is weighing you down that is no longer in alignment, and what is something that you can literally move out of your energy field so that it creates space? So there's this invitation of creating space, but without asking for external validation, for like the media, for programs, for coaches, for guides, for books to tell you what that is. Because I think that you're starting to learn to really use your inner compass as an actual guide versus getting external sources to kind of come in and really show you where you should be. So hopefully this makes sense. Let me know if it resonates. I hope it does. I always do. I just delivered a message. It didn't go off when you started. It's all good. It's all good. I've only been here for about 5 minutes, and I am going through every single sign. So I'm not giving you guys a general reading anymore. I'm literally going through every single sign, and I will do my best to give you a better. I'm starting to get better on like live like reminders. So we're getting there, I promise. But just in case you're catching me live and you're getting an update, here's what we're doing this week. Today, look, so Mondays, I'm going to be doing live all sign readings every single Monday. It just works a lot better for my schedule than to try to cram it in on a Sunday. Wednesdays, we're going to be here practicing. So if you love meditation, you are brand new to meditation, this is sort of like my offering to you, that you can come and practice with me. Obviously, right now, our theme is literally going to be what's happening with the new moon in Gemini. And then I think that there's going to be one more. No, there's going to be a video. There's going to be an actual video that I'm uploading. That's not going to be live. It's going to be actually being uploaded. I believe it's coming up on Friday, but I will leave like a quick little reminder. So yeah, you'll see the timestamp here. I'm starting to add it in. So right now we're at 7:34, and next up we have Taurus. I'm just doing all signs because I feel like this will actually serve you guys a little bit better than me giving you a general reading. That's why we're not doing general reads on the Sunday anymore. Okay, Taurus, what's happening with you? What's happening for the new moon? What's happening with you guys for this week? What do you guys need to know? Boom. And of course, if you're joining me live and you can see me and hear me, please let me know how your weekend was with just an emoji. I kind of want to get a little vibe check of how you guys are feeling. I'm going to be elaborating a little bit more on some of the downloads that came through over the weekend, but I would love to know how you're feeling, how you're doing. Taurus, what do you guys need to know? So we have celebrating simplicity. There we go. We're celebrating a lot. Then celebrate your wins. And we have the four of wands. So let's unpack what's happening for you guys. I feel like Taurus, I feel like you guys have been spending a lot of your time really overcomplicating life for you for like no reason whatsoever. And I feel like you have been like craving like seeing progress in something. Most of you, I feel like most of you that will actually resonate with me for the most part will be likely run businesses. I feel like this is more of a side hustle thing where you just want to get just like a little bit of progress, a little bit of momentum. I feel that this is very much happening within your career. I don't feel that this is happening in your relationships, but just getting like that little bit of a positive feedback, positive momentum that's happening for you guys. And but really like the invitation here right now is all about, can you, it's almost like what can you release, what is not serving you. And generally new moons are not really about releasing, but I feel like you're going to be simplifying, getting a little bit closer to getting what you guys want. Like, I feel like this is very much going to be more about like your manifestation journey, your personal development, but that's like definitely like hand in hand ties into what's happening with your finances, what's happening with your career, with your money. And I feel like you're starting to see progress. If you haven't yet, you will be. We're moving into a totally different energy by the end of the week. So I would love to kind of see how this is all unfolding for you. But I also feel like with the Four of Wands, it's all about that's going to happen through, in a way, it's going to happen through connection. It's almost like you need to kind of start pouring more energy into the other cups as well, rather than just focusing on just money, 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 or just on what, like, making momentum within your career. I feel like in order for you to create momentum and really manifest in all areas of your life, you need to pay attention to other areas besides just money and besides just career. And this week is a really wonderful invitation because we're closing off an old chapter and moving into a new one. So who is in your corner? Who have you neglected in the process of like really focusing on just one area of your life? Who can you reconnect with? Who do you need to take out on a date? Right? Maybe go out for drinks. Who can you really catch up with? Because there's something there, but there's something there not so that you catch up on the latest cocktail, but there's something there that might be helping you kind of not only simplify your life but move forward in a way that it feels a lot more in alignment for you. So hope that makes sense. Gemini, the focus is on you, my friends, and we are at 11:43. Okay, Geminis, what do you guys need to know this week? New moon in Geminis, you guys. So, I mean, if this is in your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this will definitely affect you. Gemini, what do you need to know? Meditation and massage. I love those emojis. Gemini, what do you need to know? What do you need to know, Gemini? Ooh, uncovering confidence. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle in the universe. Create alchemy. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So what's happening here? It's almost like right now, like your invitation really is to find your voice, to find your own power, and you find your power through finding the things that really leaves. Okay, saying leaving the legacy is such a big statement, right? But the way that I kind of feel about this is sometimes, like, when I'm bringing it down back to the macro, to me all that means is it's find the little things that really like spark. Can you just find the spark? Because sometimes we add such a big like energy to like these huge humongous things, and it adds so much pressure to, oh, I need to find my purpose next week. No, it I feel like you get crumbs everywhere, and then it's your job to find those crumbs, to notice those crumbs. So for you, I feel like you're really invited right now this week more than ever to kind of find your own groove. You know what I mean? To find your own voice, to find your own way of doing things and being confident within that without really trying to be like everybody else. They're boring, trust me. With the Four of Pentacles, it's very much an invitation for you to really pay attention to the physical manifestation of everything that creates your foundation. So that can be money, that can be your relationships, that can be your work. I feel like this is very much talking about, again, it could be your career, it could be your side hustle, but it's all about really finding the way that you contribute to the world, and having confidence within that, because that is creating something that's going to be lasting. So it's like, can you kind of find a way to feel confident within that, the way that you're showing up and the way that you're really contributing and providing value to the world, right? Instead of being locked away, like really locking things up and creating these walls around you that are just like such high boundaries that nobody can really get close to you. And if nobody can really get close to you, especially if you're running a business, nobody can really connect with you, right? But it's like you're so interesting, but then on the other hand, like nobody can connect with you. So they have no idea. They will never know because they don't know anything about you because you're not letting anybody in. So the invitation is trust yourself that whoever is coming to you, it is for you. Trust yourself that whatever you're showing up with, whatever you're contributing is absolutely valued and you're highly valuable. So take it as you will. Interesting readings. Like I can't even. Okay. Cancer, you're up next. What do you guys need to know? 1530. Cancer. Don't ask me why the accent. We just have the accent going on. Cancers, what do you guys need to know for this week? It's so interesting how every single sign is getting something so different for this new moon. Like, I find that fascinating. Okay, Cancer, what do you guys need to know? We have changes. We love changes. No, we don't. Cancer, what do you need to know for this week? And we have rewiring the nervous system. I feel like a lot of you are rewiring the nervous system this week. Cancer, what do you guys need to know this week? What can be helpful? What does Spirit want you to know? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have changes. We have rewiring the nervous system. And we have temperance in reverse. So to me, this is all about looking at the chapter that has gone now. Even though you may or may not have had a chance to really release it, the invitation is for one to release it and for another to can you look at changes from a completely different point of view? Can you embrace change even though it is very challenging because it might be highly triggering for most of you? Like you might not love change, right? But the invitation is also like while you guys are doing your inner work, then that inner work is going to support you and root you down and create like this beautiful anchor for you to be able to embrace change. Because what's happening with change is when something gets released, when an old chapter ends, most of the time people end up focusing on the what was. But look what's happening. We're also creating space. You're creating space for something significantly better. And the thing is that if you get caught up in your emotions and get caught up in the whirlwind of this change, and you're too focused on what is leaving, you're going to have a really hard time embracing what is trying to come in. And you're not creating that safe space for that to really truly like drop in and really arrive for you. So the invitation here is, can you do the inner work? I feel like this for for a lot of you, especially if you have a hard time with changes, I would really question what are you clinging onto that was serving you in the past, but it's not going to serve you in the future. So it's almost like you need to really ask yourself, what would my future self want for me right now? What would be the most ideal thing that I should do? What would be the most ideal thing that my higher version of myself? So we're really going to be looking at like jumping timelines essentially, because the version of you that is here right now is doing these actions, is giving you this result. And then the moment that you want a different result, you need to jump timelines, which means that you need to jump frequency. So when we're jumping frequency, then you need to be completely okay with changes and knowing that like the old crap needs to leave so that the new one, so I almost said the new crap can come in, but the new better something can come in. And sometimes we're kind of tend to focus on it like, oh, it's going to be all good. No, but you have to know that you have the stamina and you have the stability and you have the tools, which is why we need to like really rewire a lot of this. You have the tools to be able to handle the new challenges, because with the new challenges comes new growth. That's your message. And somebody's upset in the background. Don't ask me who, but somebody. Leo, you are up next. 1921 Leos. What is happening for you, Leo? What do you need to know for this week? I feel like a lot of you are going to be joining me in my meditation this week. Well, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? That we talk about the thing, and then after that, we do the inner work where you have the ability to really connect with your subconscious and start rewiring it. Leos, what do you need to know? These are some powerful messages, you guys. Leo, what do you need to know for this week? How can you work with this new energy coming in? Okay, here we go. So first we have releasing expectation, we have balance, and we have the Ace of Cups. So let's unpack that. And with releasing expectations, only the highest possibilities come to me, whether I envision them or not. It's sort of like setting that very initial intention. So, like the invitation here for you, Leo, is can you really take a look at when you're setting your intentions, like when you're actually doing your mindset work, your inner work, your journaling, can you actually envision that the best possible outcome, like envision what that is, and then create like supporting intentions for that? Because that's kind of what you're invited to do here. Like the invitation is, can you bring a little bit more balance into your life in a way where it actually feels fulfilling? Like, can you achieve success without being happy? For sure you can. Like many people have. But right now, I don't feel like that's where you're going. I feel like where you're going is the invitation is for you to fill up your own cup first. Fill up your own cup first, get a little bit selfish. I feel like you guys really, really need to, it's almost like you need to take the attention away from all of the things that you were kind of spreading your energy out into and really start pouring that back into you. Because if you do, then you're going to get a lot closer to whatever it is that you want to manifest. I feel like you want to create balance anyway, but it's sort of like there's that sense of confusion of like, okay, but how do we do that? And I feel like some of you got that in your head that like the more I work, the more I hustle, the more I'm going to create balance. When really, no, the more you work, the more work will actually manifest more work. So just keep that in mind. You need to see sort of what am I actually trying to manifest? What am I trying to pull towards me? What would make the most amount of sense for me with this new moon energy, especially as we're moving out of retrograde season? How can I really articulate in the best possible way with all the people around me where I'm really pulling that energy back to me? How can that really fill me up first? Like, what is missing? Is it more travel? Is it more connection with people? Is it really more money, or is it whatever money or that freedom or that options or that solution that you're really yearning for? And can you get there through community? Can you get there? So it's like start challenging what it is that you desire and how you get there, and really place the importance more on how you feel in the process, and actually prioritizing the other aspects of your life, because I feel like you guys tend to kind of neglect it. And the whole release expectations is so, so beautiful. To me, this is all about really stop attaching and getting so stubborn about how you get there. Create a little bit of space so that it becomes nice and fluid and beautiful, instead of it has to be this way, this is when it's going to happen. It's like, no, the universe provides it at divine timing when you are aligned, energetically aligned. You have done the prep work, then it can drop in. And then you can absolutely expect it to drop in, but not without all of that background work. So it's almost like do your prep work first. That's your message. Do your prep work first so that you can, and it starts with sometimes just filling up your own cup, because you function so differently. Like your energy is so beautiful when you take care of you first. I mean, it is for most people, but especially you guys. Virgos, you're up next. 2350 Virgo. Okay. Virgo, what do you need to know? Virgo, what do you need to know? 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 We have unhooking the past, we have creator water, and we have the emperor. So So let's unpack. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past. It's like the invitation right now for you guys is to look back on how much you have achieved. And then when you look back, an area of your life that feels like that needs the most amount of attention and most amount of focus. And can you look back with a sense of accomplishment rather than with a sense of regret? Because the moment that you acknowledge, even within the parts that you want to regret, you're still going to find that there's like a lot of lessons there, even though it's really hard to kind of see it sometimes, because most of us don't think of hardships as lessons. Most of us think of it like it's happening to us. With the water, you're really invited to use your emotions and bring them to balance, and really use your confidence within that, knowing that your desires matter, your needs matter. All of the things that you desire and you want to create for yourself, they're all very important and they're very valuable. And take your time in working through letting go parts of the past that really doesn't serve you. Take a look at what doesn't serve you anymore. Like right now, I feel like most of your journaling prompts will be all about taking a look at areas of your life and really taking some time to reflect. As we're ending off the month anyway, it's a beautiful time for you to start journaling on that, to start just taking some time and really reflecting on what worked, what didn't work, why didn't it work. But don't dwell on it from a place of you're unworthy or you're not good enough, because that's not what the point is. But emotionally, can you connect back to how did you feel and what did you learn in the process? Because all of those people that have come into your space, that come into your energy field, they come in for a reason. Sometimes they show you, even especially with things, with experiences that really make you highly triggered. One of the things that you can do is to create some space and take a look at what is this showing me? Because sometimes it's showing you how those people are not really going to come along with you for the ride. And it's so hard to remember sometimes where you are the in the middle of kind of like you're like the control of your own universe. You don't control anything else, but the only thing that you have full control of is the way that you react, the way that you behave, the way that you manage your own reaction to all the circumstances, and the meaning that you add to that. That's what you have full control over. Everything else is sort of like happening on its own, but energetically what you put out is essentially pulling in the experiences that you either need to learn or that is like magnetized to you. Those are the two that are happening. Everything else is neutral. So try to look back on the past, whatever happened in the past season, because we're literally closing out that chapter, and see, what did it show you? How did it allow you to become a better version of yourself? Like, it's almost like this is showing you very much about emotionally how much you have grown. Like, it's asking you to really reflect so that you kind of see your own strengths. I think that that's where the focus will be for you, and to really celebrate that, because it's important. On to Libra. Okay, we are in 2811 Libra. Libra, what do you need to know? I feel like last week we got really cut off right around here because I lost sound. So I had to kind of break up the live into like 2 segments. Libra, what do you need to know for this week? Polishing my heart, which is always good. In flow with money. Isn't that funny how we were just talking about money a second ago? Libra, what do you need to know? How can you use this new moon energy? Can we talk about how like the 4 of Pentacles came up again? Interesting. Polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. In flow with money. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So for you guys, the focus is obviously going to be on wealth, on your relationship with wealth, on like, I feel like that's, and it's funny because it's literally like right in the center. Like, it's right in the center of everything for you. But I feel like in a way, you're going to be really restoring, where the invitation is there to restore the relationship, the way that you relate to abundance. What does that really mean for you? And then what will be the job for the money, the wealth that you're trying to accumulate? Like, what is the purpose? And the way that you can kind of do that is by looking at both doing the inner work to release the old wounds and the old money stories, as well as looking at how you can really manage your finances, manage your wealth in a way that it's that energy system that's actually flowing continuously, rather than, I feel like some of you are really tapping into scarcity right now. And the invitation is to not to do that, to kind of rise above it, witness it for what it is, but then rise above it and knowing that there's more. There's always more. But the caveat is that the more is available to you when you can witness what is right now. So one will not happen without the other. And I want to be really careful with the way I'm saying this, because I feel like this gets so misunderstood so often. Because what most people hear is there is more than enough, so I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and chill. There's more than enough, but again, you need to create the circumstances where you heal your own old money wounds, and you're not hoarding money, but then also you're working with it consciously. And if you don't have the knowledge to work with it consciously, then get help or get knowledgeable and get educated on how you can allow this energy exchange system, which is that's all that is, because the rest is fake. How can you allow that to really start serving you to its best of abilities? How can you allow it to really elevate you and then maintain that frequency for you, or continuously help you elevate? Because the moment that you start rethinking how you feel about money, everything shifts. Everything shifts. And I think that it's like that emotional attachment that we have to wealth and what that really means and what society tells us it means. And like, I can't tell you how many times people tell me that they would love to manifest more money, but yet there's no plans for what they will do with it. Like, they haven't created the life for what they want, like how they want to live, how they will feel. So therefore they're never connected energetically. And emotionally, I feel like there's a lot of healing that is needed to happen for a lot of you guys. So it's sort of like, can you work with your money more consciously so that you can create more of it, but feel into where you're energetically stuck? Because that will be sort of your guide to kind of move forward in a more conscious way, because there's more than enough for it to go around, but it's not going to go around with the same mindset that where we're at when you're hoarding, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Where are we? Scorpio, you are up next. 32, 39. Scorpio. Scorpio, what do you need to know for this week? I feel like a lot of you guys are unhooking the past. Oh my goodness. What do you need to know for this week, Scorpio? Oh, I like this. Okay. So first we have unhooking the past, which I feel like I just pulled like 2 minutes ago. Overrate your intuition. And we have judgment. So there is nothing to regret when I learned from the past. Again, we're back to like sort of like this dwelling on the past thing, right? And overrating your intuition. Okay. As whether we're looking back or whether we're just, I feel like what's happening here right now is actually, it has very little to do with the past, but the past is sort of shaping. It's almost like you bought like these damn sunglasses back in the 70s and you keep wanting to wear them because you paid like $1,000 for them 20 or 30 years ago. That's what I feel like. It's almost like you took something from the past that used to mean like a lot for you, and then you brought that here, and it's a continuous cycle that it's keep repeating itself. And then in the meanwhile, your intuition is like, can we like tap in? Like, I'm asking you to like make changes, make adjustments, because this is not aligning fully with where we want to go. It's aligning with like a past version of yourself, but it's not aligning with where you actually are. Like, you're not hitting it. And I can't really get you to where you want to go to that next chapter because you keep dwelling on and you keep living, you keep wearing that stupid code that you bought in the 70s. Like, put the code down. It doesn't serve you anymore. And then in the meanwhile, you're allowing all of these people that really have no right to your heart, to your energy, to your attention, to your frequency. They have like zero, like they haven't bought no tickets. Okay. So because they haven't bought the tickets, but yet you're still allowing them to really shapeshift and really shape who you are becoming. And I think that right now what's happening is that's what you need to unhook. That's where there's like a whole lot of cord cutting that needs to happen, where you're really looking at, what does my soul want? What does my higher self want? So when you're going into your inner work, into your meditation, um, like really tap into what do you want rather than what version of you needs to kind of show up in each of these situations so that you serve others. No, your highest version that is showing up with the highest frequency and with the most amount of pungency, that's the version of you that needs to show up. And the only way that you can do that is by really not letting anybody that is really not in alignment to kind of show you or shapeshift you into who you are not. That's basically the message. So that's what unhooking the past means. Unhooking the past really is all about just letting go of that old version of you that was people pleasing, because that was really giving you the result of someone who is miserable and serving others that really don't appreciate you. So you're worth so much more than that. You really are. Your energy is worth more than that. Your timing, like all of that is worth like way more than what you're giving them. So bring that energy back to you. Let's move on to, where are we? 3627. Sag. Oh my goodness. Okay, Saggies. I'm going to watch the replay on this and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. I think his name is Eat Sal. It's Eat Pray Tarot. If you haven't checked out, oh, Julie, I'm so glad to hear it. First of all, thank you for catching me live. That's beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that that it's resonating for you. If you haven't seen Sal, I mean, the most entertaining reading ever. It's so beautiful. He always calls Sagittarius as Saggies. Hi, Saggies. How are you? Welcome to your reading. And I always want to say that, so now it's stuck. Boom. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, Saggies, what do you need to know? How can you use this new moon energy? So first up, we have growing beyond guilt. Ooh, what does your soul say? And we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. It couldn't have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt. I feel like some of you are really looking back again with like this dwelling in the past. What's happening here, guys? I feel like you might be, some of you might be spending time on reflecting, on taking a look at how you were doing things, and not just reflecting, but like almost like questioning if you made the right choice. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like you're wondering, like it's like there's like that guilt attached to this aspect, that like something that has happened where it was either you or them. You know what I mean? And again, we're invited to go within. Like you're continuously being, you guys are continuously being asked to, what do you want? What does your intuition tell you? And when you're tapping into that, your intuition will tell you that no matter what, you need to begin to start taking care of you first. And knowing that the ideas will come, knowing that you will be supported. But when your focus is on other people, the inspiration, the downloads, the creativity, the things that you really, really crave, where you're like, oh, that's like the missing puzzle, that cannot come through because your attention and your energy and your frequency is going so much into something else that has like nothing to do with your reality. And then when you're sitting back and you're like, why am I not manifesting this thing? Why is this business idea not happening? Or why am I not making progress? Like, I just kind of feel like I'm stomping around in the same spot and I'm overworking and I'm frustrated. That is why, because you have all of this extra energy that is attaching to something that really, like, it could not have happened any other way. If you're on a cusp of sign, I would actually focus on, I would look at which part resonates with your rising sign. So sometimes, so I'm an Aqua, but I'm Pisces rising. And like 95% of the time, for me, the Pisces readings are like significantly more in alignment than the Aqua. And it's like one after the other. So that would be my take on that. If you're wondering, like, which one? And honestly, you should watch your sun sign, your moon, and your rising. So, because each of them will give you sort of like, how are you functioning as, the way the world sees you? How are you functioning like on an emotional and on an intuitive level? And then how are you, like, what do you actually need to, what are the messages for like what you're kind of living out and what your purpose is in this lifetime? So that would be my take on that. Back to you, Sedgies. I feel like something is happening for you where it's like, again, it's like this old cycles of like crap that's happening. You know what I mean? And you're having a hard time. Like, you're on one hand, you're pouring so much energy into other people, and especially if you're being mistreated, then really, like, the invitation is always, always to come back to you, to take this beautiful thing and come back to you and pour it back into you energetically. Can you just, me first, me first? And it's like almost like that's what needs to be your mantra, me first. I need to have my cup overflowing first before I give it to anybody else. I need to drink first. Because if I'm thirsty and I'm like dying of thirst, what can I give you? I'm going to give you an empty cup. Have fun. You can get that at a dollar store. You know what I mean? But the other part of it is that you're tapping into magic when you do. You know what I mean? So like it's so pivotal. It's so pivotal in so many ways. And honestly, can you do some cord cutting? Can you allow yourself, I think, like, really the message is, can you allow yourself to be your absolute best version of yourself? Because a lot of you, I think what's happening is that you're scared beyond belief of your best version of yourself, because that version of you guys is so damn powerful. Like, it gives me chills. So can you accept that? Can you like look into that and be like, oh damn, like, look what I'm capable of, right? Because I'm like, look what I'm capable of when I'm suppressed. Imagine when we remove that weight. Watch out. If you're looking at what you have manifested up to this point, when your energy was actually scattered, imagine when you pull all of those pieces back and then you're going to take off. So just fair warning there. On to, so 42, 49. Oh, on to Capricorn. Capricorn, what do you need to know? Okay, Capricorns, what do you guys need to know? I don't know why I like the violent. don't ask me. We have accept and receive. Ooh, we have liberating love. And if you're just joining me live, we're going through every single sign and we're really focusing on what do you guys need to know for this week using the new moon energy. And of course, little update on astrology. We are finally moving out of Mercury retrograde by the end of this week, which is like so beautiful. Okay, so we have accept and receive, we have liberating love, and we have the 9 of Swords. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. What you put out there is what's kind of coming in, kind of. What you're putting out there energetically, not what you're physically putting out there, but what you're putting out there energetically is kind of like if you haven't been putting too much out there energetically, I feel like this is going to speak to your social life. This speaks to your relationships. Yeah, I feel like you are, it's almost like you're giving yourself permission essentially to be able to receive the attention, the affection, the community, being seen, being heard, having your needs met. Like, if you can, you've been providing that for people, but now it's like, I feel like you're going to be working on expanding. That's what it is. You're working on expanding your capacity without this fear that if you actually speak your truth, if you are showing your true authentic self to people, that you're not going to be attacked. Like, I feel like there's like this sense of fear that, people will destroy you if you show the real you, or it will get misunderstood, or it will get like morphed into something that is not. And the thing is that you need to know that that happens when that's what you're putting out energetically. So a lot of this is all about frequency. But and it's not to say, so okay, it's not to say that if you have the best of intentions and you're continuously showing up and you're showing the best version of yourself, then you're not going to run into lower vibrational beings. Absolutely, you will. However, you can look at that as almost like a reflection of how far you've come. So it's based on how you're framing it. And the invitation is, don't let the fear of, oh, hi, Ashley. I can't believe you're here too. I'm so excited. Don't let the fear of lower vibrational people scare you, because that will happen no matter what. And you deserve love. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to have your needs met. You deserve all of the things and more. However, you need to give yourself permission to be able to receive. So it's like, can you accept whatever's coming in, and knowing that whatever's being thrown at you is going to be the thing that you actually need to receive, is the thing that you need. It's either there for your expansion, or is there because it's resonating, one or the other. But I definitely feel like there's going to be more of a focus on your relationships more than anything else. And it's beautiful because it's like, look how far you've come. Like, the way that I constantly look at this is, it's not to say like, oh my gosh, everything's going to work out, but you're always being guided. So just remember that you're always being guided, and like, whatever's being thrown at you is there for your highest good. It's not there to punish you. It's there so that it gives you the capacity for you to be able to receive the love and the compassion and all of the things that you truly desire. So hopefully this resonates. Who is next? Oh my goodness, it's Aqua. Okay, 4721. Aqua. My fellow Aquas, how are you guys? How are you, my beautiful friends? What does Aqua need to know for this week, please? What does Aqua need to know? What does Aqua need to know for this week, please? Can't even make this up. Okay, Aqua, what do you need to know for this week? What do you need to know? Oh, come on. Let me shuffle you properly. Okay, Aqua. I keep pulling the same thing. Okay, I got it. First up, we have inspiring others. Then we have raw intention. And I swear I pulled this twice. That's why I put it back, because I'm like, that's not it. We have the Page of Pentacles. So let's unpack. Inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Aqua, you know how we do. So here's what's happening with this new moon for us. What's happening is that we're really, it's almost like we're pulling back, and we're going to be looking at all of the different areas that have inspired us, that have lit us up, that it's like it's almost like, okay, this is going to be big, so just wait for it. You're being asked to tap back into what was the initial intention that you had for yourself. What was it? What was that thing? What was that inspiration that you received? What was the download that you received initially that kind of sparked whatever action you were taking? I feel like in this case, we're very much talking about business. We're very much talking about manifesting, like the side hustle, like that, like soul mission that you essentially have beyond it becoming a business or whatever else. But what was that initial intention that you had? Why did you have that idea? And if you're reconnecting back to that initially, um, raw intention, connect back to the root of it, of how did it make you feel emotionally? How did it, like, where did it land for you? Because it landed in somewhere where you were, it was kind of filling in the gap, like it allowed you to kind of move along and actually heal. Like it perhaps started, for a lot of you, it likely has started your healing process, or it helped you heal. Like it's kind of started to plug in all the holes in the wall. And you're asked to kind of reconnect back to that, because there's something there that you need to look at again. And while we're in retrograde, it's like revisiting, redirecting. Can you re-look at that again and see, how is that still landing? Are we still, it's almost like, are we still on brand? But no, are we still on purpose? And and then make it about others. It's always about service first. Service first, but can you kind of combine that with whatever was your soul asking you to do? When you combine those two, then you're creating magic. And I know you are, because I am. And it's going to look different for each of us, but like the idea behind it is that you have the energy about you that really here to create changes and give permission for others to stand up as well. And in a small or big way, and whether that's a business, whether that's you inspiring your kids, or it's showing them a different way, or you're cutting ties from old, you know, like old traumas that you're healing, whatever it is, however it's showing up for you, like the invitation for you to re-look at that, because that's going to be your guiding North Star. If, especially if you're feeling like, if you've been asking yourself in the past few days of, like, what are we doing? Like, what's the point? If you keep asking yourself, what's the point? Re-look at what ignited that fire in the first place. Because I feel like that's the only place where you're going to find true answers. And when you look within, it always gives you the answers. But allow this video, if you're watching this, to be your sign that I see you. I think you're doing great. Have patience. Please have patience, because you have no idea how many people you inspire just by showing up and being you. So hopefully this resonates for you guys. And Pisces, my dear Pisces, what do you need to know? 5224. I feel like it's going to be like I wrote 5254 and then I didn't write anything else. 5230. Pisces. Okay. I feel like we're like delivering big messages. For a lot of you guys, it's like a big week. I feel like it is a big week, but it's not a big week. You know what I mean? Like, Pisces, what do you need to know this week? I feel like it's like a lighthearted week this week. That's how it feels. Pisces, what do you guys need to know? Oh my goodness. What do you need to know, Pisces? Okay, that just came right out. Pisces, what do you need to know? What do you need to know? Okay, Temperance is once again happening. So first we have encountering conflict. I don't choose sides, I take a stand. Then we have Creator Air, and we have Temperance. So I feel like it might be a rocky week, but I don't think it will be. I think that here it's sort of like we have like this nice, beautiful underlying message where, if like all of the conflicts, or like the main thing that is like happening, that is like the underlying theme for you this week, it's going to ask you to almost like to think before you act. So look at your triggers this week, but look at your triggers and then what is it showing you? And really contemplate on what is it showing you. And I know that you want to react to it. I know that you want to like, and I think that in a way you will have the opportunity, if it's a massive issue that is kind of coming through, then I feel like you might not have wanted to like take sides, or like you might have felt like you're being torn, and really it's more going to connect back to your own integrity and your own values. So reconnect back to that. Again, when you're doing your inner work, maybe you need to journal on this, maybe you need to meditate on this, and really ask what is coming through, of how to handle the triggers that are coming through. What is triggering you, first of all, right? Because I think that right now, like, the invitation for you will be to really get a hold of your emotions and get a hold of your temper. Get a hold of your temper in a way where you're coming from a place of control versus coming from a place of reactivity. So sort of like practicing knowing that whatever's coming at you is not happening to you, it's happening for your expansion. And I think that you have come a long way, but yet you're still sort of like, how do I kind of navigate this? And honestly, you can navigate this through the law of neutrality, where you have to understand that the way that the way that most people view their world, or the way that we are conditioned to view our world, is to see a either black or white. So then that creates division, and understand that there's going to be a thousand shades of gray instead, which it always is. And can you look at it with a sense of neutrality, where you don't have to agree with either side, especially, I mean, I feel like politically it's a big week this week. I also feel like there's so much that's happening in the States right now. So it could be like a thousand different things that are happening within the news, within the media, that can be very polarizing, right? And that's very true. And I feel like the invitation right now is, again, not only to go within, but also just to kind of check in with yourself of, where do you feel that? Where does that land for you? And it's not that you don't have to have a reaction, but you have to kind of see, like, where does it land within your values? And then how can you move forward where you're actually taking action? Because if the only thing that's happening for you is that you're being triggered, and then you go and rant for an hour on Facebook, that's not really creating the progress and the change that you want to see, right? So that's where this temperance comes from. To me, temperance sometimes feels like, you know, it's almost like that attitude of a diva, where it's like, oh, I'm too cool for school. But really, like, temperance to me always represents like this invitation of find that inner stamina, that inner strength, where you can hold your composure. That's what it is. Can you hold your composure? Even with people that you don't agree with them, you can still like get along. Like, it doesn't make them bad people. They just don't agree with you. And no matter what the issue is, because there's going to be, it's not hard to find people that will not agree with you. It's always available. It doesn't matter which topic we're looking at, which political, like, you can talk about politics, you can talk about global issues. It's not going to be very hard for you to find ways to create division within society. It's a lot harder for you to practice that self composure, where it's like, oh my God, like, I don't agree with any of that. However, I understand self respect and I understand respect, and I'm giving you the respect that you're giving me, and call it a day. Can you look at it with a sense of detachment rather than with attaching yourself? And it's almost like you're kind of giving your energy away. So the invitation here is to not only to not do that, but to practice. It's a practice, you guys. It's a practice of not doing those things, right? This is all I have. And I can't believe I did it in under an hour, like, highly, like, high five. This is all I have for you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I'm going to literally copy the entire timestamp, so that if you're watching this on a replay, you can actually find your own personal reading. My only thing would be, please let me know in the comments if it has resonated. I hope it has. But we will be back next week, and then you can catch me on Wednesday evening. I will be back, where I will be guiding you guys through a practice. Usually I stream it on Instagram as well, so it will be on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. And there's also going to be an actual video that's coming up, which I'm quite excited about, where we're going to be really unpacking some of the downloads that have been coming through, and kind of looking at how we can kind of work with this energy. And I'm going to expand on beyond the readings, which is sort of like the idea here. So hopefully you have enjoyed this. Set your notifications so that you get notified. I'm going to do my best to actually just pre-schedule all of my lives so that you guys get notified and you get reminders and all of that fun stuff. You can also follow me on Instagram if you are not yet already, because I update you guys of all of the lives that are coming up every single week. That's all I have. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Happy new moon. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.